What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. So today, we're going to be talking about Mavuika. Yes, the Pyro Archon is coming. Oh my god, she's finally been drip marketed. It's taken way too long. Natlan has waited for their Archon to arise. And it's been heavily theorized that there was a reason why she was like delayed, but it never actually came to fruition of like why. But it's here now. The hype of it is kind of gone. But everyone looked at all the leaks and the animations because they couldn't wait. They wanted to see Mavuika. I did too. Now, Mavuika wanted to be the best of the best. But for some reason, miHoYo said, nah, you're not going to be the Bennett and Zhangling that everyone wants you to be. You're going to be Pyro Raiden. Yeah. So there's two ways you can use her, by the way. Two ways. You can either use her as a Onga Bonga, I'm the biggest boss bitch in this place. I'm the true Archon. Raiden, you thought you were powerful, bitch. I am the Pyro Archon. I'm the main DPS of this motherfucker. Oh yeah, you thought you had Arlecchino? Yeah, I'm the big main DPS in this bit. Yeah, that's what Mavuika said. Yeah, so she said I'm either gonna be a main DPS or I'm gonna be a really decent support. So yeah, when we're talking about support, Mavuika, she literally has a tap for her elemental skill, and this summons the rings of freaking radiance. It's like just fire rings, bro. It's just fire rings. They target mobs and they do pyro damage every 2 seconds. But this does consume her Night Soul points, which she has 80 of them. But if you want to be a DPS, you want to slap your cock on the desk and you want to go ahead and say, yo, I got the balls to do some damage. Okay, you hold down that elemental skill and you get your motorbike. She gets her back on that motorbike and she starts slashing, punching, and starts slamming and slide tackling the mobs. I mean, she can literally run over hilly trails of mobs with her motorbike and do pyro damage. It's ridiculous. But she literally does everything that's overworld exploration, that Mulani does, that Kanich does, that everybody. Okay, she can't literally grapple in the air, but she can fly like Chaska, because I'm like, Jesus Christ, Chaska flies on a bloody gun for fuck's sake. But that's the point. She's very strong in her DPS state with her normal attacks on her motorbike. It should be on screen, I think. Yeah, but yeah, it's strong. It's strong. Okay. Her elemental skill, I'm not gonna lie, people have done calculations. I have looked at them. The damage, ooh, just on the theory crafting, the damage, I'm just gonna say it's like on par with a buffed Pyronado with Bennett. And that's like just raw damage from Mavuika without any crazy shit, bro. Like, that's crazy just from off field. But what can you expect from the Archon? What can you really expect? And the thing is, her normal attacks as well. The reason why people are saying she's gonna be a main DPS is because literally her normal attacks, while she's getting healed with like little to no buffing, is on par with Arlecchino. Hello? Like, are we talking about the fact that Arlecchino just came out like in 4.6 and now you're making another Pyro DPS? Like, what? Like, are we being for real right now? Like, is this really happening? So yeah, people aren't necessarily happy about the Pyro Archon being a DPS. But the thing is, that's interesting, is that Arlecchino is like really, really good, but Mavuika is like better in most cases, which is really annoying. And the other thing that's really interesting is, I mean, I know I said I called her Pyro Raiden, but her burst does not require energy at all. You heard me right. Her elemental burst is literally accumulated via Fighting Spirit. And you might be thinking, what the f is Fighting Spirit, bro? Like, I don't know what Fighting Spirit is. Well, Fighting Spirit is actually the consumption of Night Soul points. This is what her like stacks are. Like, you know how Raiden has Chakra with her E skill, and then she gets that ready so she can do a big Giga Slash with her Booba Sword. Basically, you need to accumulate Fighting Spirit and you need to consume Night Soul points. And there's a cap on her burst of 200. That's like, imagine that being the maximum cast cap for like the big damage, right? You get 200, which is the cap. But to actually activate her elemental burst, you need 100 itself, okay? Now, fighting spirit can either be accumulated, this is the catch, by either knights or points, or by a shitload of normal attacks. You heard me, a shitload of normal attacks. If you get a shitload of normal attacks, god damn, you'll get it up. But if you got knights or points, it will get up even further. So, that doesn't make her natlan reliant, but it does mean that she's able to run, yes, ladies and gentlemen, as within a dual DPS team composition. This means that my girl, Mavuika, is a main DPS, but she can also be run as a dual DPS. The days of running Eula and Raiden are back. If you did that, I'm happy for you. But that means you can run her with so many other different characters and future characters to come, which is awesome. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this means that you can run her with Chlorine, this means you can run her with Arlecchino, this means you can run her with Risley, this means you can run her with Wanderer, this means you can run her with Kanich if you wanted to. This is really, really nice. It opens different teams. I mean, shit. It's actually not the baddest thing in the entire, like, you know, thing of her kit. It's not bad. I'm glad she's not natlan reliant, but yeah. So basically, for her elemental burst, Mavuika will be in this enhanced state. Remember the motorbike state in her hold E? Basically, she's gonna go Super Saiyan, right? Glowing hair, Goku. I'm joking. She's gonna be in her enhanced state for 7 seconds. Again, very similar to Raiden Shogun, and she's going to be doing enhanced damage. But she's also going to have enhanced damage based off of the increased amount of fighting spirit she's got, or that she accumulated to get her burst in the first place. It's like having it, you know, it's like having it turn on and then it's like, oh my god, fighting spirit, it's turned on my burst, I'm there to use it. But it will fucking glow like the sun, be like, whoa, I'm turned on, but I'm activated, ready to go. That's the extra fighting spirit that gives Mavuika that just that little bit more juice with the damage. But when you're using her elemental burst, she has an increased resistance as well, which is, I mean, come on. At this point, most people have increased resistance when they're using their burst with a skill. Like, who doesn't? I mean, unless you just genuinely don't have it in your kit, then that just sucks. You need damage reduction. But the thing is, that's really kind of interesting about Mavuika's burst is, unlike Furina, which a lot of people wanted to have like a Pyro Furina for Mavuika, she has like a passive, an A4 passive, and this means that her elemental burst, after casting it, every point of fighting spirit will increase the damage of the character by 0.25%. But the thing is, as soon as you cast it, boom, it starts the decay for the next 20 seconds until 0. So you're like, what the fuck does that mean? That means that Mavuika will actually ramp down in damage the more you do it. So like, when you cast your elemental burst, it's just going to be front-loaded damage. The max peak of your damage is going to be at the beginning. And as you continue the rotation, it's slowly going to dampen and get down and go down and go down and go down until it's completely dead. So it's literally the complete opposite of fanfare stacks. It's not like, oh, it's rapidly building up and it's going to go crazy, massive damage at the end of when you're using your fanfare stacks. Nah, it's the complete opposite. So it's kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. But this also opens the opportunity to where, oh, Mavuika, I don't necessarily need to continuously keep normal attacking until, you know, you die down. Because honestly, even if you have your fighting spirit maxed out to maybe 200, which I'm going to be completely honest with you, with the characters we have at the moment and with the threshold of normal attacks, most characters right now, they have around, I'd say Chlorine has about 39 normal attacks within one rotation of her elemental skill, which is like really good and helpful for Mavuika. But when it comes to Jillinan, because of her Night Soul, you know, point, she gets around 90 points. You need 100 for just the bare minimum. So the fact that that's right there, you know, Mavuika has 80, 180, you get the idea. Mavuika's gonna get her ult pretty quickly with Jillinan. Doesn't mean that they're going to be besties, but they're still going to be really good partners in crime, you know? But the point is, I don't understand why they made a character like her so strong when we didn't even need it. We didn't even need it. I don't understand the kit, personally. It is what it is, man. What can I say? But it allows people to run different compositions. It makes other characters somewhat useful, but it also makes Mavuika become like a dual DPS. As I said, you can just cast your burst, because realistically, like, that scaling of that burst, you do not want to get rid of that. It's really good, by the way. It's useful. Like, it's a majority of half her damage, by the way. I'm not gonna lie to you. You might as well just cast and then switch off. Like, it's useful, okay? But the thing is, her other passive as well, it's like, she triggers a Night Soul burst. I mean, a Night Soul blessing. Like, most characters trigger a Night Soul blessing, and this means that, like, she gets increased attack percent by 35%, which is kind of crazy, because that's literally like an artifact set in passive, if you know what I mean. So, like, with all these extra buffs that Mavuika has, there's literally no point in running Bennett. There's literally no point in running Bennett. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because we haven't even spoken about her C2, okay? And that shit is broke. Every Archon has a broken C2. I mean, other than Venti, but my point is, every single time we look at C2, it's like, okay, bro, that's just so unrelatable. It's ridiculous. But when it comes to her burst, max cap of 200, she gets an increased damage percent of 50 damage bonus, basically. It's crazy, okay? 150 is also 37.5, and then 100 is just a bare minimum 25% damage bonus, which is kind of, you know, it's better than nothing. What can I say? What sucks with Mavuika is that she doesn't have her own artifact set. Like, bro, what? Obsidian Codex doesn't work. Like, why would you want to use that with her? Like, huh? Like, what? Like, you'd over-crit, buddy. You'd over-crit. If you're not going to get a signature weapon, what weapon are you going to use with her? Navia's weapon? Sure, I mean, I guess. Go for it. Wolves Greystone, if you got lucky. I mean, if you lost 50-50, I mean. Daya's weapon? Good luck. You might overcrit again, you know. Like, what are we going to really work with Mavuika? You're not going to use Scroll, aren't you? No way you're using Scroll set on Mavuika. It wasn't designed for her. It was designed for Zillion and for other 4-star support. Mavuika is a support and DPS. Either one will work, but that don't work with her. So, I don't really know what Mihoyo is cooking with Mavuika's kit. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please do consider dropping a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. I'm looking forward to the version 3 beta. We're going to see some big changes. We're going to see some big changes.